Thanks so much for checking out Tea and Butty on YouTube. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hello, and welcome back to the Tea and Butty podcast. I'm Erica.
And I'm Dominic.
And today, you always crack me up when you do that, like, news presenter voice. And I'm Dominic.
This is how we're going to be on YouTube. Because, you know, we're definitely going to start doing YouTube. YouTube videos so you can see our wonderful faces. And it'll just be our faces, too. It'll just be all zoomed into our faces. Like, you can't see anything else. So none of the trolls can comment on, oh, what's that in the background? Oh, what's that spoon? Oh, what's that wall doing there? What's going on? Why are all the cups wobbling?
We're just going to be two floating heads.
Two floating heads. You love it.
Oh my God, I'm not looking forward to it, but we'll see what happens.
No. Anyway, on to today's episode.
Yes, today we're going to be talking about graduation.
Graduation, everybody. Graduation and jubilations.
What's that?
That's actually
Cliff Richard.
That's a Eurovision, because Eurovision is not going on at the moment because of the COVID-19 lockdown.
Well, they said they're just celebrating past years of it. Or
yeah. Graham Norton's presenting it now. He took over from Terry Wogan a few years back.
Love Graham Norton.
And you love Graham Norton. And, you know, he does a radio show every Saturday on the BBC Radio 2. So you can listen to that free all around the world. So if you have the BBC Radio iPlayer app, go listen to it.
Yeah.
You can listen to live radio free. It's not like the TV iPlayer where you have to, like, you know, go through a VPN and everything.
But in America, you're listening to the live radio, whatever, BBC iPlayer. You've missed live radio, and it's like the middle of the night in Britain, and so all they're playing is like...
That's Radio 1 all day. That's Radio 1 all day who plays that.
It's just like, oh God. But you can listen to, like, earlier, you can go back and listen to what was broadcast earlier in the day.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously all recorded now, thanks to the digital age.
Yes. But anyway, graduation.
Back on topic. Keeping it rolling.
Oh, we must be the worst podcasters.
We are the best podcasters. And I defy you to find anyone else. Graduations.
No, the reason why we're going to talk about graduation is because typically in America, in May, kids graduate from school,
and they have a full cap and gown.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen this year.
It's not going to happen this year because everyone's on lockdown. They'll have to do it from their house.
Yeah.
They'll have a little parade around the house, you know, where they get to walk in their gown.
Well, because
their cap. And they go up the stairs and sit on the landing and grab their little scrolls.
They should, they should have like something like go out in the front yard and people can, keep 6 feet away and
people have been
look at them and go, yeah, congratulations.
What we've been hearing is lockdown restrictions have been eased in London, in England.
Yeah. They're easing up here. A lot of states have already completely opened.
Yeah, Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland, this is just Britain now, who are kind of keeping on the lockdown. They're keeping with the restrictions, still people not allowed out. But in England, lockdown restrictions have eased.
Yeah.
People are going to parks. Everybody's having a great time,
Yeah.
And, well, in Texas, what is the thing? I don't really know. They kind of flip-flop, don't they?
No, well,
I think the governor wanted to open, and then everybody else was like, nah, we're going to kind of overrule that.
Well, no. Yes.
Yes and no.
Yes-ish. Yeah.
Ish.
The governor wants to open, but then mayors of the larger cities are like, we'll open gradually. We're not going to totally... But they can't completely, like... say, oh no, we're not opening.
We're not opening
technically
because
the governor said
the governor has issued an order.
Open. Yeah,
and if you defy that order, then he shuts you down.
Well, no, but Texas is they've got this plan where we are totally like way off topic, but sort of ish. Anyway, Texas has got this plan where they're gradually opening businesses like each week or every few days or something. More and more businesses are opening.
Yeah.
Until eventually everything is going to be open again.
And normal will proceed.
Yeah, but they've still got restrictions on, like, schools are not going back into session. They're finished for this year.
They're finished forever. No more school.
Well,
school's out forever.
I think that as far as school, I think they're
Alice
thinking
Cooper
about.
was right.
I think they're thinking about starting school up early. So, like, starting it up in July. Alice Cooper was right. Alice Cooper was right. Little did he know. I think they're thinking about starting it up again in July for, like, the next school year. And then for, like, Christmas break, Thanksgiving, Christmas break, spring break, all of those kind of breaks where they normally have from school, they're going to be extended. So, like, instead of 2 weeks at Christmas and New Year's, they'll have the entire month off to sort of, like, keep kids away from each other when the virus is going to be picking back up and spreading again. Although you could argue that it's still spreading quite a lot.
It's quite rapidly. I think there's been 1,000 more cases in Texas alone.
No, we had like 1,800 cases yesterday, which was like the highest we've had since all of this. You know, and it's like, is it? Are there more cases because because we're reopening? Or,
possibly, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know, yeah. I think the general advice is, you know, be safe. It's like, just
be safe.
Be safe. Do what
common sense.
Be smart.
Common sense, everybody.
Use common sense. So part of that common sense is not holding a graduation ceremony where there's thousands of people all in an auditorium.
And people wearing caps and gowns.
Celebrating the end of school. Which I feel really sorry for the kids that are supposed to be graduating high school particularly.
Cap and gown and a scroll.
You know, these kids have been in school since they were like 5 years old, and it's just like
Some even earlier than that. Some have been in school since they were 4.
Yeah. Some since they were 3. Yeah. Maybe even 2.
Maybe they were in school in the womb. We don't know. We don't judge these people.
But high school graduation's a big deal in America. I know you guys don't do it in Britain,
we don't really do it. I mean, for high school anyway. For university, yeah. You have the graduation ceremony, cap and gown.
So I know we've talked. I know we've talked about this in a previous episode where we talked about school in general. If you guys haven't heard that, go back. I think it was around last year, around this time. But go ahead and tell us, for anybody who hasn't listened to that episode or doesn't remember, because let's face it, it was a year ago. Tell us what you guys do to celebrate the end of your high school or the end of your school career, basically, in Britain.
My personal experience, for everybody out there, my personal high school experience was the end of school was coming and we were told, this is your last year.
The end.
You can either commit mass suicide or...
Oh my god.
No. Our teachers kind of just said, this is the end of school now, it's coming up and, GCSEs are over, your exams are over. That was kind of like the end of school, and then you were in school for 3 more weeks until summer break.
Yeah.
I think it was May we left. And, it was just saying goodbye, and then I think maybe the day or the last week of school, people got their shirts signed. I wasn't there on that day that people were doing that. I think that was the very last day.
You weren't there. You weren't at school in the very last day.
Yeah, but I thought it had ended. I thought it was over.
Oh my god!
And I left early. And then someone said, no, Friday was the last day, not Thursday. What? And I was like, what? It's like, oh yeah, you didn't get your shirt signed. No, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. It was a long time ago.
Oh my god.
I remember one day I didn't turn up and everyone had signed their shirts. And I was like, oh, I didn't get mine signed. And they were just like, oh yeah, we're not doing that, because everybody was running around school signing each other's shirts, good luck. It was kind of like that kind of yearbook type thing, it was that kind of thing. And then we were saying goodbye, and our teachers were saying, good luck out there in the real world, it's a tough place.
Oh my god.
Usual thing, and you've got to do what you think. I had that kind of like lecture from my registration teacher. It's a tough place, and you've got to do great things in this world. You've got to. We're counting on you, all that kind of stuff. But no graduation ceremony, nothing. It was just walking around the school, year 11, which is like, what would you call it? 11th grade?
Well, 11th grade, yeah.
But you have like 12 and 13.
Grade, yeah.
And 13. No, just 12.
We just have 12.
Well, 11th grade is when usually... I think they've raised the leaving age, because I was 16 at the time. And so was everybody else. And, we walked out of the school the last day, and that was it, the end. It was like, we're not going back next week, because we don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
We've moved out.
I mean, that same thing happens when you're in school here.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
You have your last day, and it's like, it's weird because,
but that's it. We don't have like a thing where we come back and just like, oh... I think we did have a thing where we come back to get our results, but that was during summer break.
Yeah.
Because I remember going back to the school and they were all laid out on like the canteen table.
Yeah.
All of our results, and they had our names on them, and not Dominic Williams, whatever, just like right there. So I had to go through the thing. It was like really like somber attitude, because they all laid them out there, and I picked up mine, and I was like, okay, goodbye, and that was it. Nothing, no like pomp and ceremony, no 21 gun salute, no one saluting me as I left the building, like they have in graduations over here.
So I graduated here in Austin, which is a city. I think in smaller towns, I think they do maybe hold the graduation like at the school somewhere.
In the gymnasium?
Or like maybe like on the football field, I think.
Oh, I think I've seen that in like films. And they have like lawn chairs set up to go on the grass, and they put up like a stadium, like a thing, Or
maybe like even in the school auditorium or something like that. So here in Austin, my graduation was at this. It was a gymnasium actually, but it was
Cafegimatoriasium.
It was a separate like standalone gymnasium that all the schools in Austin can use.
Yeah.
They can have basketball games there, whatever. So it had nothing to do with my school. It was not attached to my school. It was not anywhere near my school.
They just decided to hold
In fact,
it
was on the complete opposite end of town from where we lived. But yeah, that's just where it's the biggest like auditorium, gymnasium, whatever. The biggest gymnasium.
Yeah. In the Panhandle.
For high school. No, I didn't graduate in the Panhandle.
Oh, you didn't? That's right, yeah.
No, I graduated.
For some reason I thought you were talking about the Panhandle. I was like, okay.
So, like, on graduation day, because you'll finish school, like, whatever, on a Friday, like you normally would. And then graduation will be on the Sunday, let's say, So it's kind of like you're getting ready for a wedding, or you're getting ready for, some sort of event, because it's like all day and it doesn't happen until that afternoon, and you get all ready, whatever, and you've got your cap and your gown.
Cap and gown.
I don't know, where did that tradition even come from?
No idea. I have not researched that. I mean, it's obviously from like some Oxford University or some big university, maybe even Harvard.
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. Hoggy-walky Hogwarts.
Yeah. It has to go back to, it
goes back to, Victorian times, I'd say, maybe even
before that?
It's very, it's very formal.
It sort of reminds me of, let's say the robes that they wear, like, in the Vatican or something. I mean, where else do you see the long robes like that,
Graduation. Well, those kind of those hats.
The caps, I don't know.
The caps were traditionally worn by teachers in schools.
Yeah.
Like Victorian beaks, they used to call him. The beak. He's like the headmaster. It was traditionally worn by the headmaster. You used to see that. I don't know what it's called. It's like a bishop's mitre, but it's or a something board, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Mortarboard.
Yeah.
My mortarboard? Yeah, something. It's like a mortarboard, yeah, And those were traditionally worn, and the robes too were traditionally worn by the headmaster of a school, and he'd come in and he was the headmaster because he had his little dress on and you're like, yes, I'm coming to cane you now. It was one of those, I remember seeing it in old films,
Yeah.
I think the last time I actually saw it on screen, I think, was a rerun of Carry On Teacher in 1959, so maybe they still do it in some schools, I don't know.
Yeah. In Britain, you mean?
In Britain, yeah. Maybe they still have that. That would be interesting. Because I
because
do remember in primary school
Mhm.
in Wales, our primary school teacher he didn't have the mortarboard, but he definitely had the robe when it was like a ceremonial assembly or whatever. He'd come out and he'd be in his like black robe,
And they have like things that hang down the sides,
So-
like
yes,
a, like a
yes, yeah.
like a
Oh,
like
actually,
a scarf kind of thing.
actually, it
or-
might have
what
been
it's called.
in my secondary school in Wales too.
Yeah.
I think some of them wore that. Yeah. I don't know if anyone listening went to my secondary school. They can tell me.
So graduation is a huge deal over here. So that's why I'm like thinking right now. It's so if I were in school, if I were in the class of 2020,
Yeah.
I would be really upset that I'm not getting to
Well,
put
yeah.
put a bookend on my school career. It's just like that's kind of and you can choose not to go to graduation, and there are people who are like, ugh, the actual graduation ceremony.
So when they call out their name, it's like, sadly couldn't be with us, but someone's going to be accepting his on his behalf.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there were people in my class who didn't show up for the graduation ceremony because it was just like, who cares? Well, for one reason, you have to buy the cap and gown, and they're not cheap.
Oh, you can't just rent them?
I don't know.
Surely you could just rent them. I mean, you're only going to be wearing them a day unless you're going to be some
I
person
don't
who
think
goes
you
around
can rent
wearing
them. I seem to remember we had to buy them. I don't
Oh,
remember
probably.
there being an option to rent.
Yeah, I guess so.
And so it's just like, I can't afford that. I'm not going to go to graduation. You still graduate. As long as you have passing grades, you still graduate whether you go to the graduation ceremony or not.
Yeah, yeah.
And some people who just were not into school or just, they're not into going to the graduation ceremony. It's like, why do I want to go? Like, I hated school. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But yeah, driving around, I don't know what it's like in you guys' cities if you're in America anyway.
Because graduation for you is a more like involved thing. There's more process. There's more.
Yeah.
Thing with me is just like goodbye.
So usually, your family or somebody will have a graduation party for you, even if it's just like your immediate family or, you have your grandparents and aunts and uncles over or whatever. Usually somebody will throw you like a little, yay, you did it. You made it through.
You did it. Graduation party.
Yeah. Congratulations. You made it through. You passed. You're moving on with your life now. You don't have to go to school anymore unless you're going to go to college.
And will there be wine and nibbles at this party?
Well, there's not going to be alcohol because not at the parties that your parents are throwing for you anyway, because we're not legal
What about
age
the parents?
to drink in high school.
What are they going to drink?
But yeah, I mean, kids throw graduation parties too, obviously. So.
Yes. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, red Solo cups.
The funny thing is, I can remember going to so many friends' graduation parties, and it's just like, why didn't we all just like get all of our families kind of together to have this party? Because we're all graduating from the same school. We're all friends. It's like, how many parties do we have to go to?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, not that you're complaining when you're a kid. It's like a party's a party, but
party time.
So you usually have the parties. I can remember having them before the actual ceremony, and then like after the ceremony, you might go to dinner with your family or something. But so the ceremony, you put on your cap and gown. Some people who were like had honors in school, like they're graduating with honors, which means like they're in the top of their class,
top tier.
They might have had like a special little medallion or something to wear, or something to say
their
status in their class.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I am. Because you guys don't do like valedictorian and salutatorian.
No. Yeah, I mean, you're very much based on like a Victorian like public school figure.
Or like a
state-run
university.
schools don't have the money for all that.
Yeah.
It's like in Britain, it's like government-funded schools.
Yeah.
Just like they educate you, and some barely even do that. It's like they're turning up and they're just. I remember my geography. Well, one of my geography teachers said to us. He came in once, and he said, "If I knew I couldn't have a pint at the end of the day, after dealing with you lot, life wouldn't be worth living." And he just walked back out. And he didn't come back for like 15 minutes. He did, honestly. He came in and we were just like, oh, he just walked in the room and said that to us. Quieted us all down and said, if I knew I couldn't have a pint at the end of the day after dealing with you lot, life wouldn't be worth living. And he just walked out.
Oh my God. You sounded very Welsh just then, just so you know.
Well, he was Welsh. He was a Welshman.
Oh my God. You and your stories. Yeah, I don't know. It would just be so weird to not have that ceremony. But we must have got it from... I mean, obviously it's based on, like, universities, I guess.
University.
And obviously that must have come from, like, Oxford and Cambridge or something like that.
Something Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard.
I mean, I'm just making that up. I have no idea, really.
What's the other one at Harvard? Harvard and...
Yale?
Yale, that's the one. Yale.
But anyway, so you go to the place, you get your cap and gown on, you go to the place you're going to have the ceremony in. The school, you line up, like, in the rafters or somewhere,
Yes, it's like a stadium sport.
And then the song comes on. You have all your families.
Land of Hope and Glory comes on. Yeah, we know this. It was otherwise known as the Well, no, it's actually Land of Hope and Glory is like the whole song. The bit that you use in graduation is pomp and circumstance. That's what you call it. Land of Hope and Glory, pomp and circumstance. Come on, sing it with me. England, and England is the land. And usually play it for the Queen, and Queen's on the freaking piano giving it freaking...
Oh my God, you are hyper. You need to take it down a notch.
I'm not hyper. I'm not. I'm just telling it like it is.
But anyway, yeah, so that song comes on. I don't know how that song became like a graduation song. The class comes out and sits in, like you said, folding chairs out in the middle of everybody else is around you. Like
folding chairs like the one I'm sitting on.
Everybody else is around.
Exactly like the one I'm sitting on. Actually.
Everybody else is in the stands around, in the arena, like they're about to release the lions to eat everyone that's on the floor. And then there's a stage set up, and the principal and vice principal and maybe a couple teachers, I can't really remember, are up on the stage. And they start announcing your names. They'll give like...
Does it have an echo?
They'll give speeches like, oh, you all are going to go on and do great things. And, They
have celebrity guests sometimes, don't they?
That's usually universities. I don't think most high schools get that, but possibly, I guess.
A local celebrity, surely.
I guess maybe, like, I can imagine if you're graduating from a high school in Beverly Hills or something, and somebody has an uncle, who's an actor, then maybe
uncle who's a film producer, more like.
Yeah, maybe they'll come.
Oh, they can get Brad Pitt to come to my graduation and talk.
Yeah, but I think that mostly just happens at. I can't remember any like local celebrities or anything talking at my graduation, but. So they'll give you a speech, motivate you into your life, and then they just start announcing names, and you just get up one by one. You go across the stage, everybody's clapping, woo! They'll go, People will do their little blow horns and stuff in the stands if they're.
Surely someone's policing that. If you do it at the wrong moment and someone comes and goes, give me that. Give me that bloody blowhorn. I think
it's generally, like, it's okay, you know, unless you're being excessive about it. Because it's like people are excited their kids finish school, you know.
They do like a Wario laugh.
God. You guys, I apologize for him.
No, I apologize for her.
Yeah, he's only had 1 cup of coffee as well. He hasn't even had too much caffeine yet.
This is the time you get me in the right mood.
Anyway, yeah, so once your name has been called, you go across the stage, you shake the principal's hand, they give you a diploma.
It's a scroll.
You turn like that, they snap a picture, you know. That's it. You go off the stage, you go sit back down in your chair. Off your little cap that you're wearing.
And you toss it in the air.
No,
that's not yet, is it?
That's not yet. God, you're
when
so
do
excited.
When do I get to toss my cap?
No, on your cap you have a little tassel that's hanging down. So
do you pull that and it goes,
everybody's tassel is hanging on this side. After you get your diploma and you go and sit back down, you move it to the other side. Or wait, maybe they tell you once everybody's done it, then they say, okay,
everybody move the tassel to the other side.
Yeah, because that means you've graduated. Then you move the tassel to the other side.
But what if it's a windy day and it just keeps blowing it back?
Well, we were inside,
I don't know. You gotta hold it in place.
And then they'll be like, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you
the class of 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Oh, poor things. They're not going to get that. And
they'll get it on a Zoom call.
Whoa, yeah, you jump up, and that's when you throw your cap. Once everybody's gotten their diploma and is sitting back down, you know. Then, yahoo, you throw your cap up. You only do that if you want to lose it, because you will never find the cap that was yours again. Because they come in different sizes depending on, you know, how big your head is. Yeah.
Some people
so I just went. Yeah, I just barely did it and just caught it back because it was just like, God, we paid good money for that cap.
Oh, you should have taken it off and said, yeah, I'm taking donations now for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Come on, cough up, mate.
But then, then that's it, and everybody's crying, and you go to dinner or you go to a graduation party, and you know there's a few more in the summer or whatever, and then that's it. The end of your school career, yeah.
It's like the in-betweeners.
I mean, unless you go to college, in which case you do 4 more years of school and then graduate again.
The end.
But no, the other night they had on television, we didn't watch it. I don't know if any of you guys watched it. If you're in America, let us know if you watched the graduation celebration that they had. I think it was on Saturday night, maybe. They had a thing on television that was like a quasi ceremony for the class of 2020, and they did have celebrity speakers and everything, and they were giving they call them commencement speeches. Yeah, they were giving those, and I don't know if they had a musical performance or anything, but yeah, so they had like a little virtual graduation for the class of 2020. Dominic and I were talking that you know, because most of the time, I would say a majority of people don't go to their school reunions. I haven't been to a school reunion.
I haven't. I mean, I think. Oh,
it's funny you guys do.
In
school
2012,
mm-hmm.
I got like a message on Facebook from one of my classmates saying we're doing a 10-year reunion, and I was like, I don't live in the UK anymore.
Yeah, but would you have gone?
I don't know. I don't.
You didn't go to your prom, so.
I didn't go to my prom, but I will go to the reunion. No, I shall go to the reunion. No, I mean, I might have, if I'd lived there still, I might have gone up and said, oh yeah, how's everyone doing? What a great time it was, you know.
Yeah.
If I knew because I'm still in contact with a few of my friends from school.
Yeah. And
my best friend I went to school with, so it's like, you know, if he was going, I would definitely have gone, you know. And, you know, just see how everybody was.
If we lived there, I probably would have made you just so I could go and, like, meet your classmates.
In
you don't
UK,
take your spouse?
You're not allowed. No spouses allowed.
Shut up.
If you didn't go to the school, then no.
Shut up.
That's what it is.
Shut up.
Get lost.
Oh my God, you guys, how am I going to deal with him for the rest of the day? I don't even know.
No, I mean, I imagine it would be like at some, depending on how many. I don't know how many people turned up.
I mean, because over here, usually you bring your spouse, you can bring your kids.
Yes, I think you can do that. I was joking. Just to clarify, I was joking. There was no rule that you couldn't bring spouses or babies or anything like that, because I'm sure most of the people who, by then anyway, 10 years later, had kids and, and were doing that, But yeah, it's just kind of like, I would have gone and probably would have been in a pub. I imagine, unless, a lot of people wanted to turn up. Our whole class, our class wasn't that big.
Mine wasn't either.
You've seen the full photo of it, and sadly some are no longer with us, thanks to various reasons. I mean, over the years I've heard reports that so and so is gone and everything, and I'm just like, oh yeah. But yeah, it's I don't think too many people turned up to it, actually. I don't know if it actually went ahead or what. Because I just said, I'm sorry, I'm not living in the UK anymore, but good luck and have a good time. But I don't know if it ever happened. I didn't hear anything more about it. Yeah.
Maybe not enough people replied.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were saying that the class of 2020 should all go to their high school reunion in 2030, and they
should
can
wear masks and everything.
Yes, Dominic said they should all be they'll be the quarantine
theme.
class,
Yeah.
and they can come and wear masks, to their reunion. But I said they should have like a graduation ceremony there at their 10-year high school reunion. That would be a fun reason to get everybody back together.
Yeah, I think so.
But Anyway,
we're
sorry if you know somebody who was supposed to be graduating.
Or if you have a child
year.
that's graduating, we're very sorry about that. Yes.
Because that is a milestone in life.
Yeah, but I mean, they can do it again at some point. I mean, I know not this year, but you know, they can have a reunion and have a graduation then.
Yeah.
When all this is over.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's more important to be safe and healthy and, all of that first, so.
Yes.
Anyway, let us know some of your graduation memories. Let us know if you are British and listening.
And you had a graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some high schools might do it. Some high schools might be more affluent than others. And
also wonder...
Yeah, let's do it like that.
I also wonder if there's any... schools in America that don't use a cap and gown to graduate. Like, you just show up in whatever you're wearing.
Show up in your jeans.
And you can still just graduate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would find that interesting. I imagine it has something to do with making you all feel unified. Like, you
finally get to wear a uniform.
There
you go.
There you go, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, we have to end this because I don't even know. I'm gonna have to go lock him in a closet somewhere.
Locked down.
Yes, locked down in the most literal of senses. But thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, everybody.
We truly appreciate your support, especially at this crucial time. We would love to say a big, huge thank you to our patrons. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to keep making these podcasts. Your donations, your support, everything goes toward making these episodes. And so we appreciate you guys. If you would like to consider being a patron, please visit our Patreon page. We offer perks of all different kinds.
Tea and a Butty.
Yeah, tea and a Butty. Butty. Anyway, I think we're done.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.